All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is McCue, and here we talk about marathon training. Now, that was footage from my 4-miler that I just went out on. Today is Saturday, and tomorrow I'm going out for a 17-miler. That will be the end of my 3rd week in my 9 weeks leading up to the Wilmington Full Marathon. But what do I want to talk about today? I want to talk about the 80-20 training rule that is often often talked about in running circles. Now, what is the 80-20 rule? It is essentially that you do about 80% of your training at a moderate or easier pace or effort. So generally that is accepted as, conversational running where you can still chat with someone. Now, I doubt you're doing that under the current pandemic situation, but that gives you a good reference for how hard you should be working. And then the 20% of your training, you do a moderate to high effort training. Now, why would you train like this, and what is the philosophy? Essentially, the philosophy is that is the best amount of training to do easy combined with harder training so that you are getting better and progressing while also doing that as safely as possible. That's the key to the whole thing, is you are progressing while not pushing too hard to the point of injury. Now, you might be sitting there and you might be saying, I can run 50% of my miles at a higher effort and I'm fine. That's probably true. You probably can do that. But the point of the 80-20 rule is simply not to push yourself all out to what you can do, but to allow you to progress and train at a safe effort level. So that's the 80-20 rule, and that's the gist of it, at least how I understand it. Let me know if you know more information on the 80-20 rule and if you train by it. But let's move on to how I want to evaluate my previous 3 weeks and how I'm doing with the 80-20 rule. Okay, so in my first week of 2021, I was decent at breaking up my 35-mile week into 88% low effort and 12% high effort. That is pretty much the closest I've gotten to the 80-20 since jumping into this year. Moving into the second week of training, I was actually 50-50, which is not desirable, but it was the same week that I got the Endorphin Pros. So I did a midweek, I think I called it blowing off steam workout, which was a pretty high effort, like 7-minute mile pace, 6-mile run in the middle of the week. And then I also finished the week out with that 15-miler in the Endorphin Pros. There's a video for that. I will link that above now. And going into my current week, I am going to be finishing it out at 89% low effort and 11% high effort. That's going to be basically one tempo run. I did the 5-mile tempo run in the middle of the week. Averaged about 7-minute mile pace, and then everything else has been low effort, including my 17-miler that I will be doing tomorrow morning. So what can I take away from this? In general, my training is pretty safe so far, aside from the 1 week that was 50-50, but it's not going to be every week that you go out in a new pair of shoes that are meant to be a racing fast shoe, and I got carried away. So I'm not going to take too much away from that. Felt fine. It was still pretty low mileage for me looking forward towards the year. So in my other 2 weeks, I'm pretty much doing a 90-10 in terms of low effort and high effort training during the week. And I think grand scheme, when you look at your whole running career, if you're still in a place where you're doing 40 to 50 miles or less a week, I don't know how much speed training you'll need. I don't know. I mean, that could be totally wrong, but I think a lot of people believe in building a base of miles and continue building on that until you have that down. And then you move into working in the speed training. Now, that's where I long-term feel like I'm at now. I'm hoping to average pretty much 40 to 50 mile weeks throughout the year, sometimes more, sometimes less, depending on races. But I'm at this point where I kind of want to start working in those speed trainings. So I've been really good so far. It's only been 3 weeks into 2021, but I have worked one speed workout in each week to complement all of my other miles that are that conversational pace, right? So that's how I've been training so far. I'm going to continue to implement at least one speed training in each week. So chances are most of my weeks are going to be more 90-10 when it comes to high effort and low effort workout throughout the week. But I mean, I guess that just means I'm being a little bit more safe with my progressions. When I get to a point where I'm not trying to push more miles, that's when I think I'll be adding in more speed. But for now, I still want to try to push more miles rather than more speed work during the week. I don't know if that's the right way to go about things, but that's what I've been comfortable with lately. That's what has been working for me lately. Drop it in the comments if you've got a completely different philosophy on how you're training out there. But that's kind of my quick update for now. That is my kind of take on the 80-20 rule, how it can be examined, I would say, with my first 3 weeks of 2021, and something I will be keeping in my head, maybe for you to keep in your head as you continue to train throughout the year. If you got anything out of the video, please like, comment, or subscribe. Check out some of the other videos on my channel. And as always, I'll see you in the next video, and keep going. Nothing like a 4 p.m. espresso. I recently was saying how kind of wish, back in the day when I was thinking about starting a channel, maybe video games, something I can do sitting around the house. Yeah, running, I don't know. Tough decision.